Welcome, dear viewers. You're watching us on ERi-TV, presenting you the domestic and international news prepared for this session, live from our headquarters in Asmara. I'm Hermela Girmay, inviting you to join us on our tonight's news broadcast. Let's start with the major headlines. Capacity upgrading training for preschool teachers. Eritrean Community Festival in the United States. U.S. embassies urge citizens to consider departing Mid-East countries amid heightened tensions. And Iraq and Turkey sign agreement to transport crude oil exports. In our detailed domestic news, capacity upgrading training has been provided to 495 female preschool teachers from the Ansaba and Northern Red Sea regions. The training, organized at Hamil Malo College of Agriculture, was conducted in Tigrinya, Arabic, and Blaine. Noting that the program was a continuation of similar training initiatives launched last year under a new organizational framework, Mr. David Kfleyesus from the Department of Research and Human Resources Development and coordinator of the program, said that since preschool education is the foundation for strengthening the education system, the training will continue in earnest. At the event, 61 exemplary teachers from preschool through high school were recognized. Mr. Kiflay Ande Mikael, head of the education office in the Ansaba region, said that the exemplary teachers were from the Ansaba region and that the objective was to recognize their many years of service in the education sector, encourage them to become more committed, and inspire their fellow teachers. Congratulating the award-winning teachers, Dr. Halima Mohammed, Minister of Education, said that the government's initiative to expand preschool services is aimed at addressing shortcomings in teaching and learning process. Dr. Halima also called on the trainees to strengthen their contribution to nurturing exemplary citizens. The 52nd Eritrean Community Festival in the United States was colorfully conducted from 31st July to 2nd August in Dallas and Texas under the theme Our Resilience, Our Guarantee. The festival was officially opened by Mr. Yusuf Saik, Head of Organizational Affairs of the PFDJ, accompanied by staff members of the Eritrean Embassy. It featured programs organized by Eritrean communities reflecting the culture and history of Eritrea, as well as the Eritrean people's enduring resilience and perseverance. The festival was also included cultural and artistic performances, displays and presentations focusing on Eritrea's ancient and historical heritage, educational seminars, products from Eritrean enterprises, a book fair, as well as programs highlighting the dual struggle of Eritrean women and the history of the Revolution School. Mr. Berhane Gabriel, charged the affairs at the Eritrean Embassy, noted that the festival, which reflects the culture, history, and the identity of the Eritrean people, makes a significant contribution to transferring Eritrea's noble societal values and history, especially to those living far from their country of origin. Mr. Berhane also commended all those who participated in and contributed to the colorful event, at which nationals came together to share their knowledge and experiences, strengthen their unity, and reaffirm their commitment to participate in national affairs. The festival was attended by a large number of nationals, as well as the mayor of Richardson, Texas, members of the Texas Congress, and Americans and Africans friends of Eritrea. Dear viewers, stay tuned for our international news right after the short break. Welcome back. The U.S. embassies in some 10 Middle East countries on Saturday warned American citizens to exercise caution and consider departing or be prepared to depart should there be escalation. The U.S. embassies in countries including Israel, Jordan, Iraq, Egypt, Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia issued similar security alerts amid heightened tensions. The embassies advised U.S. citizens in the Middle East to exercise caution and heightened vigilance and to be prepared for flight cancellations, periodic airspace closures, and potential travel disruptions. They also advised U.S. citizens outside the region to seriously reconsider travel to and through the Middle East. According to reports, a senior security official is saying that Iran has prepared an extensive plan in response to U.S. media's recent claims about possible U.S. and Israeli strikes against its infrastructure. The plan reportedly involves targeting vital Israeli infrastructure and U.S. energy infrastructure in the Middle East. Iraq signed a one-year agreement with Turkey on Saturday to transport and load Iraq crude oil through the Iraq-Turkey pipeline to the Turkish port of Ceyhan, the Iraq oil minister said. Under the agreement, Iraq will export a minimum quantity of 750,000 barrels per day of crude oil through the pipeline, the minister said in a statement issued by the ministry's media office. Iraq and Turkish companies will begin implementing the agreement, while the two governments will move forward through a careful planned process to finalize a comprehensive framework agreement covering the oil, electricity, and water resources sectors, along with other areas of cooperation that advance their shared interests and support development and stability. Iraq's economy relies heavily on crude oil exports, which account for about 90% of the country's revenues. Dear viewers, we are done with the news prepared for the session, and now it's time for a quick recap of the major headlines. Capacity upgrading training for preschool teachers. Eritrean Community Festival in the United States. U.S. embassies urge citizens to consider departing Middle East countries amid heightened tensions. And Iraq-Turkey sign agreement to transport crude oil exports. Ladies and gentlemen, that was all for tonight. Thank you for having us and have a blessed one.